Hello and welcome to Backstage Buzz, where you get the inside story on upcoming events at the MAC and around the community. A little later on, I'll talk to Executive Director of the DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau, Beth Marchetti. Beth will share inside tips about all the amazing things you can do in DuPage County this summer. But first, I'm happy to welcome a few friends from around DuPage County who are all getting wild for Warhol. First up is the village manager of Lisle, Ertmoed. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
I'm so grateful for what you and the entire community in Lisle are doing. And I want you to share with everybody some of the things you're doing. And you're, as a village manager,
Sure.
I think what means a lot to me is we have different people leading different elements throughout each community. You know, we have 18 communities who are doing something. But you stepped up as the village manager to kind of steer the ship. And what motivated you to do it?
Sure. So again, I think we saw a lot of the success that communities had around Frida Kahlo and all the economic impact and really community building and placemaking that the Frida exhibit brought to all communities in DuPage right out of COVID. So it was just a really important thing, not only to be here at the MAC and see the exhibit and what was going on, but also what was happening in the communities around Glen Ellen, in Glen Ellen, in Wheaton and Lisle and all the other places. And so we saw the success that everybody had, and we had dipped our toe into some Frida themes and things like that. But when we had Warhol, we wanted to really make sure that we were all in, ready to go. And we had our kickoff meeting in November that you and your team were at, and we had a lot of good conversation with our partners, the Park District, the Library District, our business community, our destination businesses, hotels, Chamber of Commerce, and make sure we were all together. And it's been really a great collaborative effort amongst all the organizations in Lisle, getting ready for this event, welcoming visitors to Lisle that experience the Warhol exhibit here. So we're excited for Poppin' Lisle. So.
Well, I have to tell you, your community, you have a lot of creatives in your community. You have that Chinese squirrel retail, you have a bakery that right out of the gate, I saw Marilyn Monroe cookies that they were making. And, you know, from
Astoria Bakery on Maple, yeah.
Astoria Bakery?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, you know, some of the things that you've really led the way to go, this is fun. But what I'm thrilled about in Lisle is the diverse groups of people that have come to the table, you know?
Absolutely. So like I mentioned, we have all our taxing bodies and local organizations, nonprofits, the library, the Park District, the villages involved, our chamber, the business community has gotten together, and we've been meeting at least once a month to go over the plans, to check in and make sure that our efforts are coordinated, that we're not duplicating, that we're being complementary. You know, and a lot of you know, these organizations have taken off and started art camps and done their scheduling and have really gotten excited and started to
What's
promote
art
early.
Camp?
So
tell me about art camp.
The Lisle Park District is going to be having this summer, one of their art camps is going to be a Warhol appreciation type event. So people will be able to sign up, and it's going to be a week of Warhol and being able to paint in his style and things like that. And even the Park District Golf Course, River Bend is getting involved with the Warhol Wednesday in July. So if you wear a neon colored shirt, fun colors, neon golf ball, you'll be able to be entered to win a contest. So from golf to bakeries, our restaurants, our hotels, everybody's getting involved and getting excited about Warhol. So it's been a great opportunity for collaboration and really bringing all these organizations together around one important event that everybody can benefit from.
So the nice thing about Lisle is it's super close.
Right.
It's right down the street.
Right.
And one thing that you're home to is a big, huge, beautiful outdoor venue.
Absolutely. So the Arboretum is there, and we also have Community Park in Lisle as well. And so we're very close here to the MAC where we sit today. So just about 5 minutes down 53 and just past the Arboretum, and you're in the city center there. So
which is so nice. I think you could make a day of it. You could,
absolutely.
And that's what I love about this is if you're local, make a day of it. Go see what they're doing in Lisle. And I think Morton Arboretum's going to have a big art show as well this summer. And then you can go have lunch. You have wonderful restaurants.
Yeah.
And so I'm just thrilled about how creative, like with the art classes, because I know the kids, my neighbor was telling me, 6 years old, he goes, I know who Andy Warhol is. I go, how do you know who Andy Warhol is? And the schools are teaching the kids about it right now.
Absolutely, the schools and the library, and we're fortunate. This is great timing because our library just finished a major renovation.
Oh, nice.
So that's where our Pop Art Challenge Clings will be hosted. So they've got a lot of Warhol programming throughout the summer as well. On May the 20th, we're doing our official unveiling of our Warhol folks.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, we had a Pop Art Challenge, and Jeff Bevington, who's a local artist, he was on the show a while ago. He came up with this idea of, what if I make the 4 most famous people in Glen Ellen Warhol style? And I was like, this is so amazing. And we put a mural up. And then I'm like, what if every town got to do theirs? And so we have a grantor from the JCS fund who said, I will help you to make this happen. So we were able to go to every city in DuPage County and say, who are your 4 most famous people? So who are your 4?
So we like to call our 4 the hometown heroes in Lisle. So we have Carlin Nally, who was a longtime athletic director, helped form the Lisle Park District.
Wow.
And he was involved with our schools for a long time. Martha Schiescher, she had an elementary school named after her. She began with our school system in 1926 and was the sole administrator in the schools for 19 years in Lisle. So made a big impact on our kids and our community. The other person, Hank Van Kampen, he was a Lisle Woodridge Fire Protection employee and firefighter.
Nice.
And then he got very active in our park district and started the Ice to the Skies festival, the hot air balloon festival that ran for all those years. So, and then as well as Joy Morton, who is the founder of the Morton Arboretum. So those are our 4 hometown heroes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you honored the people that built the community. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting to see it all happening. And now I think you've also changed your logo for the summer, right?
So we will be changing our logo, our email signatures. We're going to be putting street light banners up. We're excited about the Campbell soup wraps around our garbage cans downtown. So we've got a lot of branding for Lisle and the community and the Warhol style. So we're excited to showcase that and release that. And it's just been a lot, again, Pop in Lisle, and we're excited. That'll be our hashtag for the summer, and as we get ready to welcome visitors to the community.
I can't thank you enough, Eric, for everything you're doing, and it was just a pleasure having you on the show, and thanks for sharing all the exciting plans that you're doing.
Happy to be here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.
So, to learn more about Warhol events happening in Lisle, visit theccma.org/Warhol-Lisle. So that's theccma.org/Warhol-Lisle. Joining me now is the director of the Downtown Wheaton Association, Allison Orr. Welcome, Allison.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. We're excited to be here.
Well, we're thrilled about all the things that Wheaton has been doing and planning and working on, and I know you've been working on this for a long time.
It's been since late last year. So we got together a team of about 26 people from throughout the community who wanted to be a part of the Warhol exhibit coming to DuPage County. So we have tons of organizations that are involved and
so
some individuals.
So who are some of them?
Sure, so we're working very closely with the Chamber of Commerce. The Wheaton Public Library is doing a ton of activities, which is amazing. We have some individual businesses that are involved. It's really a collaborative effort.
You know what's really touched me through, because I've been to a couple of your meetings, is the true collaboration in the community with people coming together. I know Tony from Wheaton College is there, and then you have DuPage Symphony Orchestra that's coming. And it kind of blew me away when you see everybody together, how many arts-focused people there are, but they're not all really arts, but like they've made themselves arts people.
For sure. I mean, especially the Park District, their focus is not necessarily art, right? They're recreation and parks, but they found amazing ways to integrate Warhol, specifically with Cosley Zoo.
Well, I do know that Cosley Zoo was interested in the endangered species collection that Andy Warhol did. So he did a series of paintings on endangered animals. Mm-hmm. And actually, Andy Warhol did lots of paintings on animals. He really was an animal lover and a pet lover. So I'm sure the zoo's going to come up with some fun tie-ins with his art with animals. And
yeah.
And he was a big activist to save the animals.
Definitely. And the Park District and their Cosley Zoo Foundation are both working really hard for that tie-in. So it'll be really fun.
So what are some of the events that you have planned this summer?
Yeah, so Downtown Wheaton is going to be all Warhol for the entire exhibit. So we're very, very excited. Obviously, when Frida was in town, it really activated Wheaton. Everyone came together. There wasn't a whole lot to do at the time. And so everyone headed downtown and really, really got into it. So I think that's part of why we were able to get such excitement behind Warhol too and get all these organizations involved. So we have a bunch of events, but I'm going to talk about just a few of my very favorite.
Okay.
So the Hale Street tents are obviously a huge part of the downtown summer vibe, and Frida Fridays were a big deal during Frida. So for Warhol for this year, we're going to have Factory Fridays, music and murals. So of course, as you know, Andy Warhol had his factory, which became really a creative collaborative space for different artists to come together. So painters and fine artists and then musicians would all come together and collaborate and create together. So we're recreating that vibe under the Hale Street tents. So we'll have 3 Factory Fridays, one in June, one in July, one in August, where we'll have a live mural painter and a live band. So
for people who don't know what the Hale Street tents are, in downtown Wheaton, it's sort of like their main thoroughfare in Wheaton. It's like the main strip there. They have beautiful outdoor tents that cover the entire center of the street, all for like over a block, I think, long. And there's restaurants that line that street. So you can sit and listen to music and have a drink and have dinner or go for lunch. I've gone there often for lunch. It's beautiful outside. And so that is a great thing to do after you come to the show.
Definitely.
If you're looking for a place to have lunch, Wheaton is your ticket for outdoor alfresco dining.
Totally. So we are working with some artists from Wheaton College, and we have basically one big giant mural that's been split up into 3. And so each Factory Friday, a different artist will sort of put their spin on that portion of the mural. And then we're having a birthday celebration for Warhol in conjunction with the city's Fine and Cultural Arts Commission on Saturday, August 5th. And at that event, we'll put all the pieces together to sort of reveal that new piece. And it will be a fresh take on a Warhol piece.
So Andy's birthday is Saturday, August 6th.
Yes.
And that's the day of your big Warhol birthday party in the street.
Yes.
And so that will be the reveal of the whole mural?
Of the whole mural all put together. So
Fun.
The 3 Factory Fridays will be one mural each by a different artist, and then we'll sort of all create a new piece and discover it together. So
I've heard, and I don't know if you can talk about it, that there might be a big art heist happening this summer. Are you planning to steal the Warhol art? What's going on?
Well, none of yours, I promise.
Good.
So we are going to have we're going to have 2 events of a art heist murder mystery event. So last year we had a murder mystery and it was so much fun. So we're doing a Warhol take on that this year. So we'll have, it's called The Missing Piece, an Art Heist Mystery. So we're only selling a very limited number of tickets, so we do expect those to sell out. But you go around with your group together and try to solve the mystery of who stole the mysterious Warhol piece.
So this is sort of an interactive experience, right?
Correct.
Is this like the murder mystery dinners that you used to go to years ago, something like that?
Yes, except it's progressive. So you'll start in one place and then you'll have to visit various shops downtown Wheaton for each of the clues. And then at the end, you'll see if you solved it correctly.
Now, is there food involved or no?
Yes, so there's light bites and a drink involved.
Nice.
And then you can eat and drink on the way.
So Allison, you have a background in theater.
I do.
Tell us about that.
Sure. So most recently, I was the director of marketing for Drury Lane in Oak Brook.
Which we all love.
Yes, everyone does. And then before that, I worked for Jam Theatricals for 5 years. So I managed Broadway series across the country. So I had about 15 markets. So like Broadway in Name the City.
Like Broadway in Chicago.
Yes, except not that one. But yes. So I had about 15 of those, and it was fantastic. I learned so much I'm really grateful for that experience. And after that, I went to Hey Nani in Arlington Heights, and when I started there, it was a cement box, and now it's a thriving music venue, and that was an amazing experience too, you know, building something really from the ground up. And
well, we're grateful to have your art and culture background and experience and passion
yes,
here
happy to
in
be here.
DuPage County, where it belongs.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for everything that you're doing,
Thank
and
you.
we are looking forward to seeing your mural unveiling and to see everything happening in Wheaton this
Beautiful.
summer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. To learn more about Warhol events happening in Wheaton, visit theccma.org/Warhol-Wheaton. That's theccma.org/Warhol-Wheaton. Clayton Muhammad is the Chief Communications and Equity Officer of the City of Aurora and member of its Color Me Warhol team. Also, Clayton is a great old friend of mine.
Most
We used to work
definitely.
together in
Yeah,
Aurora
definitely.
when I was at the Paramount.
Yeah.
And Clayton has gone on to do great things
Oh,
for the
thank
City of
you.
Aurora,
Thank you.
always, always, always. And now as their Chief Communication and Diversity Officer,
Yes.
you're doing even bigger
Oh,
work.
Thank you. It's hometown for me, you know, so it's full circle, you know, just born and raised here. Now to be able to work for the last 10 years in this capacity, merging communications with equity, with diversity, and just really working to showcase Aurora in its best light. So,
That's awesome. And Aurora, I mean, I have a big place in my heart from having run the Paramount
Most
there and getting to
definitely.
know
We miss you.
people. It's a tight community.
very much so. We call it the smallest town, or the largest town around there.
It is.
Although we're the second largest city in Illinois, 200,000 people, it really is. Not even 6 degrees of separation in Aurora. We'd say maybe 2 degrees of separation in the city.
No question.
No question
And the
about it.
engagement in Aurorans is truly unique. Like the
Very
whole
much so.
town will rally around
better believe
good
it.
ideas and
Yeah.
support each other.
Definitely.
And I think also the diversity in the town
Yeah.
gives it more texture.
All the time there. And we say,
You know?
we were rated one of the most diverse cities in America by Wallet Hub, I believe number 8 in the United States. And we rest upon that. Diversity is a fact in Aurora. This is what reality. Our job is to pull the axe around it, the axe of equity, the axe of inclusion, to be very intentional and deliberate with what we do to bring folks together. Mayor Irvin's mantra has been for 20 years, long before he was mayor, one Aurora. And that's our goal.
I agree.
One Aurora coming together.
Well, and all right, and I'm going to be a little biased, but
Yeah.
I also think you have a very rich, you have a long history of having a rich cultural and art scene.
Definitely.
Because you have the Paramount there, you have
Yes.
River's Edge Park.
Yes.
But you also have the Art Commission. You have a beautiful building with art shows.
Most definitely.
And what do they call, there's lofts that the city appropriated to let artists live there at an affordable price.
The Artisan Lofts.
The
Yeah.
Artisan Lofts
Most
program.
definitely, yeah.
So it's those kinds of programs that really put your money where your mouth is, that you really invest in enriching the lives of not only the community but artists, and you
Most
make it a
definitely.
home for artists
Most definitely.
to be successful.
Yeah.
And I think that helps with the diversity.
Of course, most definitely. And we watched that grow, particularly over the last decade or so. And you see downtown coming alive again. You know, the Paramount coming in with their Broadway series, bringing in over
Amazing.
300,000 people a year to downtown Aurora, really re-energizing it. First Friday is Aurora, art, music, and more. Every first Friday, we're kind of building upon, you know, those steps and those cornerstones to make the community stronger again. And arts has had a core piece of that, and that's why Color Me Warhol we're so excited about bringing now this new layer of texture to downtown Aurora.
So tell everybody about Color Me Warhol and what you have planned.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for you for leading the way for DuPage County. Aurora's in 4 counties. DuPage is one of them, and so we're able to connect with you on the
We're
venture.
so thrilled.
So are we, definitely. So for us, and Color Me Warhol is really taking downtown Aurora this summer, calling it an immersive summer experience of Warhol, and we know his impact on culture in general, and we know our importance of culture in Aurora and how do we merge those two together. And so we have a series of 3 night events or evening events, Studio 54 on Stope Avenue. And Stope Avenue is one of our main strips in downtown. We're also called Blues Alley. And as you know,
Sure.
just so much rooted history for over a century of the blues right in downtown Aurora. Bluebird Records, the Leland Tower.
Say the name of the record company.
Yeah,
Bluebird
Records.
Records started in Aurora.
Most definitely, yeah.
That's right. You have a huge blues background.
Most definitely. definitely. And our
Aurora.
annual Blues Fest bringing
History.
most definitely. Our annual Blues Festival bringing in tens of thousands of people every year.
So when
as
is
well.
your Blues Festival?
It's always Father's Day weekend there.
So Father's Day weekend, if you're here for Warhol, make it a weekend and go to Aurora and
Most
go to the
definitely.
Blues Fest. They do
Most
a
definitely.
fabulous job.
Yeah, we're excited about that. So that same strip of Stope Avenue that has history and the blues and arts, we're closing down. You know, Studio 54. We know how critically important that was to the life of Warhol, but just to culture in general, into the 70s, early 80s, and all the celebrities that had to go through there. That was just a place you had to stop to if you're in New York. And so we're going to transform those nights, June 8th and June 13th, July 13th, pardon me, June 8th and July 13th, Thursday nights. So we're kicking off the weekends, you know, music, art, culture, entertainment, maybe some impersonators, those individuals who would frequent Studio 54. And then our final one is on Sunday, August 6th, which would have been Warhol's 95th birthday, a big birthday bash. And so Warhol may make an appearance himself, so we're looking forward to that. And some of his closest friends and those individuals like Diana Ross maybe will show up as well. And Donna Summer. We'll just give some of the folks that may show up, kind of recreating that Studio 54 experience. We want you to be there.
So, you know, when I was doing research on Studio 54, we're going to have a Studio 54 exhibit in the museum, right?
Beautiful.
So, when I was doing research on it, and they interviewed the doorman.
Yes.
And they said that the author of the story said the doorman at Studio 54 was the most influential person in New York City because he said who's in and who's out, right?
Definitely,
and so everybody wanted to, you know, get in, and he was the guy deciding.
Most definitely.
And he said, they did an interview with him, and he said, although everybody thought it was the most exclusive club in the city, the real thing they were looking for was people that were diverse, different, unique, had a point of view to offer, and the people who were shaping New York City. But he said, in reality, those people were the most inclusive people. They weren't judgmental, they weren't racist, they weren't, you know, they weren't, you know, prejudice against people who are gay. It was a live and let live place where everybody, and all of these true artists and zeitgeist makers who are really creating the culture of fashion, style, film, music, all came together, and it was the place everybody wanted to be around them. Well, those people are all different and interesting. They're not all the same, right? And I thought that was interesting that he said, people have it all wrong. It was the most inclusive environment, and once you were in, it was people who would really embrace each other, have fun, and feed off of each other, and not be sitting there taking a picture in the corner or, you know, telling a story. They would be engaged.
And for me, that is Aurora. You know, that's who we are when we come together for our events. Andy Warhol, I think, said it best. He said, Studio 54 is a dictatorship at the door, but a democracy on the dance floor. So when you had to get through that doorman to get in, he had his rules, but when you got in, we're all together, and that's the feel we're looking for from Studio 54 on Stope Avenue in downtown Aurora.
It has a whole new meaning with you guys doing this event, right? Because you really walk the walk and talk the talk.
Most definitely. So that's why when you brought the idea and you look at a regional approach to it, it's a natural for us. You know, those of us who studied and loved Warhol just on our own individual basis there, to be able to connect the mission, the culture, his life and legacy to Aurora, it's just a natural.
It is.
If I can come back to that June 8th event, that's our ribbon cutting event. So that night we're going to cut the ribbon. We're going to expand upon our famous four faces that have been, you know.
Tell us who your famous four are.
Most definitely, most definitely. We have Anna Lee, a young Asian, also an Olympic gold medalist, graduate of Wabanzi Valley High School in Aurora. We have, most definitely, a number of school districts in Aurora. We wanted them all represented. We have the great Mary Lou Chapa, the first ever Latina businesswoman in the city of Aurora, and the work she continues to do in her eighth decade of life. We love her, so vivacious and so ready to go.
And so committed.
So committed in every way, and she was a mentor to so many of us.
Yeah, she's like a mother
to the
she was
community.
helpful. She was supportive of me. I know who you're. She's the mother of all.
We call her one of the matriarchs of Aurora. We have Tom Skilling, the award-winning meteorologist from West Aurora High School, as well. So he is one, and then of course Mayor Richard C. Irvin from East Aurora High School, the first Black or a person of color elected mayor of the city of Aurora.
Who's a longtime advocate of the community.
Most definitely. So those are our four that we put into the challenge.
Good choice.
But on the 8th, we are going to unveil 10 times more of our, much like Andy Warhol had his famous faces, we're going to do the Aurora famous faces. And when we unveil that, there will be at least 50 Aurorans who are in that pop art style, some who have the base of those who have passed away. And I give a hint, people like Marie Wilkinson, who laid the base of Aurora.
Oh, wow.
But then there are those who are living, who are moving our city forward. We're excited for that, that kickoff on June 8th there. So
June 8th.
June 8th is the kickoff officially for us. Now we have a pre-weekend. That's the first weekend in June.
Okay.
And that is our pop art unveiling at the Aurora Public Art that you just mentioned with our Aurora Public Art League.
Beautiful museum.
Absolutely beautiful. So the call for artists went out and they're coming in like wildfire for new pop art in the Andy Warhol style and pop art style. That's on Friday the 2nd, First Friday's Aurora. You can come see it. On Saturday, June 3rd, our annual Bomb the Lot experience. And normally, this is a lot in downtown Aurora with huge canvases, 16 huge canvases. And for the last 2 years, we brought in graffiti artists, our street artists.
I love that.
That culture that can come in live painting right there. This year, the challenge was, we want you to come and do everything in pop art style. And so on Saturday, June 3rd, you're gonna have from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. music, dancing, and 16 live artists on these canvases painted in pop art style. It's gonna be absolutely fantabulous. That's our word for this.
It is
there.
fantabulous.
Fantastic and fabulous together. And that's our pre-weekend. And then on Thursday, June 8th is our official opening to Color Me Warhol. So we're excited. As you can tell.
You have a big team of people working on this, I know.
We
I know
do.
we're working with Al Whithall, and I know your
amazing.
economic development people are
Yes.
working on it, and your art
Definitely.
commission people are
Yeah,
working.
this is bigger than in the arts
It's
world
crazy.
for us. Our economic development team. First of all, it's top down. The mayor and the city council said, let's do this. You know, they said if Diana Martinez is doing it, it must be good. So let's work with her and do it. But we had to bring our economic development team on because it really does draw people and help build the community. When you come to downtown Aurora, you can. We have 12 new restaurants and eateries in the last 2 years alone in downtown Aurora.
And
Such a
Aurora,
different
you
place.
have the outlet malls.
We have the
People can
outlet
go to
malls.
the outlet mall. I mean,
Yes.
you can go to make a weekend of it in Aurora.
Most definitely.
No question.
And our restaurants are on board, so they're going to do
Good.
menus and different art styles. So when you come to downtown Aurora, Fox Valley Mall, Chicago Premium Outlets, it's a Warhol experience throughout the summer.
Is the casino there?
The casino is most definitely. Casino's there.
And so you also have the casino.
We have the casino, a major downtown player in the arts and part of our team of economic development and
sure.
impact. And so everyone's on board. We're excited.
There's a lot to do.
There is a lot to do, definitely. Yeah.
Clayton, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
We have a website. Do you have a website that
We
you
do.
want people to go
We
to?
do.
I'll let you say yours first.
www.aurora-il.org/Warhol, where you can
Perfect.
find everything Aurora Warhol. Color Me Warhol 2023.
Color Me Warhol.
That's it, definitely.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, we're so excited.
Clayton Muhammad, thank you for being here. To learn more about Warhol events happening besides Aurora's website, if you didn't get to that one, you can visit the ccma.org/Warhol-Aurora. So there's two websites because there's so much happening in Aurora. We need two websites.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for your vision. We appreciate you.
I'm so pleased to welcome Beth Marchetti to the show. Beth is the executive director of the DuPage Convention and Visitors Bureau and has all the best tips for what to do, where to stay, where to go while you are in DuPage County. Welcome, Beth.
Thank you, Diana.
So, Beth and I are old friends. We also went to college together.
We did.
And so we've known each other a long time. And Beth has been a really great mentor, friend, resource, partner, in all of this madness for both Frida and now Warhol. Beth, if you know, you've been doing Visitors Bureau now for some time.
I have.
What do you think about DuPage County? Like, how has things changed in the landscape as you know, DuPage County being a destination for things to do?
We've always had landmark things to do, but I think now people are just looking for true, authentic experiences. And we have such a great arts and culture scene that I think we just are bubbling up to the top and we're just ready and ripe to explode. I think one of the things that I've been so proud of from our entire communities collaborating, as we just talked a little bit about, is that we're all finding different ways to promote art and how it makes us feel good. And it's all about mental health now, right? So it's just something that really is heartwarming to see all the things that are going on in DuPage.
Well, and I think when people get excited about a project, right? If the town is going to do this painting project, or they're going to do this big art project, or we have all these murals in 18 different communities of who are your 4 most famous people in your town. It's fun to see how each town has done it their own way. So even though the murals are all being done of 4 people by the same artist, each town is doing their unveiling differently. Or some people picked famous people, some people picked hometown heroes,
Right.
some people picked the people who started the town. You know, and it's fun to see the culture of each community come up and their civic pride come up.
Absolutely. You have to understand that DuPage doesn't have one iconic thing. It's the character and the love of community within all these downtown districts. I think that's what makes us unique, that we've got all these different train lines that go right through the areas, that you're easily close to Chicago, but you still have this very authentic community pride from each of the communities. I couldn't believe just hearing all the different things that we've been able to accomplish, and to your credit in getting all this done, but it's the umbrella and then it's all the different characteristics. And I think the tapestry of all the things that we've been able to weave together is what's really going to make it special this summer.
Well, like Westmont, they told me that Muddy Waters is their most famous person, and they were already doing a Muddy Waters event. Right. So they said, but we want to do your Warhol thing. And I'm like, well, whatever, you know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I get it. And the next thing I know, they're doing a Muddy Warhol event.
I love it.
And, you know, and the creativity in DuPage County, I'm like, we're really more creative than people know, even more than I knew. I'm like, holy cow.
And I think, you know, your question about how DuPage is different, I think that's, we're finally feeling comfortable to let our creativity come through.
Yeah.
And I think that's really charming and authentic, and I think that's fabulous.
It's fun.
Yeah, fun more than anything.
And I feel like, you know, we had Frida a couple years ago, the Alabrahi event that was at Cantini, was it last summer?
It was last summer, and it
was last summer.
celebrating Mexican culture.
Was phenomenal. Now we have this coming this summer. Elmhurst has Marvelocity,
Correct.
which is another famous pop art, the guy who did all the Marvel comic designs. So I feel like DuPage County will be a pop art destination.
I agree. And I think, you know, one of the things that I really want to convey to everyone is you can come to Warhol because that's an amazing experience, but tag on all those other things that we have to offer, and you can make a weekend out of it. You can make an entire day out of it, and we hope that you stay and enjoy all the other things that we have to offer.
So Beth, so Beth, as I said, is the executive director of the Visitors Bureau. Beth gets called on to promote every hotel, restaurant, venue, town, community, ribbon cutting, you name it. Everybody expects her to promote it. So she truly does really have the heartbeat of all the big events and things, what's going on in the county. And your goal is for people to spend the night. So I'm going to challenge you on a little quiz here.
Okay.
How do we get people who are going to just drive in for the day to spend the night? So I'm going to give you a group of people and see what you can say, like, what could a girls' group do in DuPage County? What would be fun for them?
High tea. Wine tasting at Illinois' very first winery, Linford Winery in Roselle. Shopping, leave room in your suitcases because we have the best shopping outside of the city of Chicago with our outlets, with our downtown districts, with our amazing shopping centers that are legendary.
Oak Brook Mall's gorgeous outdoors.
Absolutely, and outdoor, and if it's, you know, inclement weather, then go indoors because we've got indoor shopping as well.
Right.
And we don't want to pigeonhole. I mean, women love to do all kinds of different things, but
good spas too.
Oh, absolutely. We have one of only 3 Kohler spas in the country in Burr Ridge.
I never knew that till just this moment.
We're gonna go.
We have a Kohler spa in Burr Ridge.
We do.
We're going for
We're making an appointment.
We're making a facial appointment. Yeah, we are. That's awesome. Okay, I'm learning. All right, what about families? Because when we're going to have a family room.
Yes,
and
which is amazing.
Kids love, you know, the families like to teach their kids, and this will be family friendly.
Right.
So you can come to the exhibit, and then I say, stay longer, because what else can you do?
For families, we've got park districts that have water parks peppered all over the county. We have the Forge just outside of DuPage County in Lamont that has areas that are custom for smaller children. There's netting and different things they can climb on. But who knew they have a stage, zip lining, that you can actually see the downtown Chicago from climbing up onto the rock climbing areas that they have. It's an amazing experience for families.
Where is this?
It's in Lamont.
I'm learning so much today. So that's a very cool thing
But
for kids.
there's great things for kids.
And
The
we have
DuPage-
zoos, we have local
DuPage
zoos.
Children's Museum, we've got Cusley Zoo, we've got Brookfield Zoo just right outside of the county. So we've got
Morton
amazing
Arboretum.
experiences. Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. How about if you're on a romantic weekend with your significant other?
Couples. More than 8,000 restaurants in DuPage County, so we can please every palate, every budget. You know, great wineries, as I said, but over 50 breweries. So if you're into beer tasting and get a big, wonderful flight of beer. Really romantic hotel packages that offer champagne in your room. Again, couple spa retreats. There's a million things, and our website has a lot of those different packages on that as well.
Say your website so everybody knows.
DiscoverDuPage.com.
And you can also search by date of events that are happening.
Absolutely.
And can you...
By
date-
interest.
By interest?
Yep.
And then what about sports? What about for the sports enthusiast that wants to come to Warhol but wants to get, you know, like a round of golf in or tennis?
I was just going to say, we have over 50 public and private golf courses. Obviously, our park districts are offering phenomenal activities throughout the summer. Again, looking at the events page on our website will inspire you for different things like that. I just think we're primed to really be successful in DuPage. In 2026, we're getting ready to roll out the red carpet for the President's Cup, which is going to bring 80,000 people a day. We've just got amazing things to do for sports, but
this summer, Beth, if somebody wanted to come and kind of make a few days of it, is there a special weekend? Like, we have events happening at the Warhol. We're going to have lots and lots of different speakers, different lectures, but if somebody was looking for, what else, you know, there's a big fest or there's a big this, is there something special that you can think of that is a good weekend to target for DuPage County, or is it just every weekend's got something,
well, every
right?
weekend's got something different,
Yeah.
right? But, obviously the Chicago area is just so easy to get to. I always like to tell people we're within a day's drive of 70% of the population of the entire United States.
Okay, that's kind of mind-boggling to me, but I guess we are in the middle of the country.
Well, you're in the middle, but you're also by very populated cities, and so you really can get, close by. We've got 2 major airports. We have the best, in Northern Illinois interstate systems. So when you say what's a good weekend to come, I say every weekend's a good weekend to come, and we're spoiled here because we have one of the busiest airports, both
Right,
Midway but
right.
O'Hare, so you can get to us easily. Some of the parades, the 4th of July is a great time to come to DuPage County. Memorial Day weekends, there's so many different things going on. I would like to say also that, in Chicago, we're so compressed with our great weather that we pack it in the summer. So that's why
We
I
do.
think every weekend
That's
it's going to be
true.
a good
There's
weekend.
festivals in some town every single
Yes.
week. The Lilac Parade in Wheaton.
Absolutely.
Everybody has their things, right?
I think there's the unknown festivals because we have such pride in our communities. So I know you and I are judging at the Roselle
Yes, we
Rose
are.
Parade. That's now
They're doing a Warhol
a
parade.
Warhol parade. So
It's
that would be a great
astounding.
weekend to come. But I think, start going on and planning, the Warhol, and then pepper all your other activities, and you can certainly make a weekend out of it.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
So, Beth, for the weekend traveler, about how many hotels do we have in DuPage County?
We have 115 hotels, 16,000 hotel rooms. We're one of the largest metropolitan areas of concentration of hotels in the country.
So there is a variety from if you want a motel or if you want a resort.
Right.
We've got it all.
We've got it all. And all price points, all amenities. Obviously, hotels are built around restaurants, so then, it's a short walk. Some of the iconic restaurants that we have, Michael Jordan's restaurant, Mike Dicka's restaurant, and Harry Carey's. You've got sports legends that you can have and
fun.
not go into downtown Chicago. But, you were talking
Right.
earlier about some of our communities. Those small businesses that we have that are offering great cuisine, I mean, we want to support local business, right? So I think, you know, we've got lots of choices in that realm as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of great restaurants
We've got
here.
great food. We've got
Yeah,
great,
we never go
great
hungry
food.
in DuPage County.
Oh my gosh, heck no.
And we can never get skinny either.
I know, exactly.
Beth, thank you so much. Is
Oh,
there
it's my
anything
pleasure.
else that you want to share?
No, I just think, you know, you know, I'm excited about this event. I mean, the building on the excitement of Frida, and I know everyone keeps talking about that, but kudos, because what a great thing that we had in the midst of coming off a lot of different challenges we've had in our world. And I think this is just going to be bigger and better, and I'm really delighted to be partnering with all of our communities and obviously you and your team. So.
And we're grateful for all you're doing to help promote. And Beth goes to conferences that are trying to bring groups and tours and group business into our county, because every dollar that comes in from outside of our county is
$10 in investment. $1 in investment earns us $10 in tax revenues and all the other different
amazing.
things that people spend. So it's a huge economic engine for the county, and we're almost back, but we need people to
one little
visit.
more push.
Yep.
And I think another thing, because a lot of our listeners are local, invite your family for the weekend.
Absolutely.
You know, this
Hey.
is a great weekend to come, or summer to come visit, and for family and friends. And I know
Friends
that
and-
happened during Frida last year.
Oh, absolutely. Friends and family we love. You don't have to stay in the hotels. We have that as an option.
Sure.
But if you invite your friends and family, we know you're still spending money in the gift shop here. And, you know, oh, I forgot this. I've got to run to, you know, down the street to a convenience store or whatever.
And you do more when you're from out of town.
Do more
You
in
just-
DuPage. Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
do more in DuPage.
That's right.
Thank you so much,
You're very
Beth.
welcome. My privilege.
Thank you. All right, now to learn more about all the great events and restaurants and hotels in DuPage County, visit discoverdupage.com. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you at the MAC and next time on Backstage Buzz.